want to win? Then act like you've already won. Act like you're the best. Because in the game of power, perception is more lethal than reality. The world doesn't crown the humble. It bows to the man who walks like a king before he's even given a throne. This isn't a pep talk. This is war, psychology. And if you don't understand how to control the battlefield of perception, you'll get crushed by those who do. Niccolò Machiavelli once wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." Think about that. The masses never care about your internal worth. They care about what you project. What you command, what image you wear like armor. So let's stop pretending that being real means being vulnerable. That's a trap for the weak. If you want power real, commanding, untouchable power, you need to understand the dark game of dominance. And it starts with this. Act as if you are the best. No one is better than you. This isn't arrogance. It's psychological warfare. Here's the brutal truth. People follow confidence, not competence. They don't fact-check your qualifications. They read your posture. They listen to your tone. They watch how you walk into the room. If you move like you belong, they believe you do. You could have all the talent in the world. But if you enter the world doubting yourself, waiting for permission, you'll get used like a pawn. That's how this world operates. That's how people operate. They don't reward the most skilled. They reward the most certain. Machiavelli knew this. That's why The Prince isn't a book about morality. It's a manual for control, for influence, for domination. It's not about what should be, it's about what is. And what is ruthless. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be respected. And if you want that, you have to play the game like it's already yours. People trust those who trust themselves. You want the job? Act like the boss. You want influence? Speak like a leader. You want loyalty? Command it. This video is going to show you how. Step by step, we're diving into Machiavelli's ruthless mind. You'll learn how to manipulate perception, radiate dominance, and make people believe you're inevitable. Not because you've proven anything, but because you act like you already have. But before we go deeper, if this already slapped you awake, subscribe and hit the like button, because the next part will blow the doors off everything you've been taught about confidence and power. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Understand this. Human beings are not logical. We are emotional, tribal, hierarchical creatures. We're wired to follow strength, not reason. You walk into a room, and immediately, without a word, people clock you. They scan your shoulders, your eyes, your pace. They decide leader or follower, alpha or background noise. That decision is made in seconds. This is why acting like the best isn't just ego, it's survival, it's dominance. Machiavelli didn't believe in playing fair, he believed in playing smart. In his world, appearance was reality. A prince didn't need to be virtuous, just needed to look like he was. Because perception creates influence, and influence creates control. It is not necessary for a prince to have all the good qualities, but it is very necessary to appear to have them. That's Machiavelli. Cold, clear, true. So how do you use this? First, kill the self-doubt in your body language. Walk with purpose. Shoulders back, chin up. Look people in the eye like you own their time. That's not bravadoid strategy. It tells the world you expect respect. Second, speak with finality. Stop ending sentences like questions. Stop apologizing before you speak. Say what you mean like it's the only thing that matters. The moment you speak with doubt, you invite resistance, confidence silences debate before it begins. Third, make bold moves before people think you deserve them. Don't wait to be called great. Act great. Dress like the role is already yours. Make decisions like they carry weight. People won't question it. They'll fall in line. You see, power doesn't wait. It steps forward. It commands space. It refuses to be ignored. And when you start to act like the best, when you wear that mindset like armor, you do something rare. You eliminate the need for permission. You stop asking, "Am I good enough?" You start saying, "I'm the standard." You stop hoping people notice. You make them notice. That's Machiavelli's mind in motion. Ruthless, calculated, effective. But we're not done, not even close. In the next section, we're going to dissect how to weaponize this mindset in competition, how to turn self-belief into fear in the hearts of your rivals, how to control a room, a stage, a battlefield, without saying a word. So, if this hits something deep, subscribe. Don't just watch. Join the movement. Because what's coming next? It's the real game. The invisible tactics of psychological warfare. Get ready. You don't need to be loud to be dominant. You need to be undeniable. The truly powerful don't beg for attention, they command it by presence alone. Every gesture, every silence, every look is calculated. Machiavelli understood this. He knew the prince doesn't just rule through decree, rules through aura. When you walk into a room, your energy should say, "This is my territory." Because in the game of power, the first to frame the environment wins. People scan the room for who's in charge, and if you hesitate, if you shrink, if you fidget, they move right past you. The throne gets taken by someone else, not because they earned it, but because they acted like it was theirs. So how do you become that person? Here's how. Step 1. Master the pause. Silence isn't weakness, it's dominance. When you speak, pause with intention. Let your words linger in the air. Make people wait. The weak rush to fill every gap in conversation, they fear silence. But power? Power uses silence like a blade. When you stop talking and just look, you create discomfort. People scramble to respond. They second guess. And suddenly, you control the tempo. The prince doesn't explain himself. He lets others interpret his silence, and they usually interpret it in his favor. Step 2. Own your space. Literally. Physically. Plant your feet when you speak. Don't sway. Don't cross your arms in defense. Open up. Expand. Own the space around you like you paid for it. This sends a primal signal. I belong here. I am not prey. Body language isn't about looking good, it's about triggering the animal brain in others. Make them see you as the lion in the room. The one who moves with calm, quiet force. Step 3. Lead without needing validation. The insecure constantly seek approval. They watch faces for reactions. They soften their voice to avoid offense. But here's the thing, true leaders don't ask for consensus. They move with clarity. And people follow. Why? Because certainty is magnetic. Confidence creates gravity. And when you lead with certainty, others fall into orbit. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." That doesn't mean cruelty, it means respect. It means not needing to be liked. Because when you free yourself from approval, you become unstoppable. You stop reacting. You start directing. This is how you dominate without words. It's a game of micro-signals, of posture, tone, silence, stillness. And once you start mastering it, you'll notice the shift. People defer to you, They listen differently. They hesitate before interrupting. They feel your presence. And here's the kicker, it has nothing to do with who you are, only how you act. This is where we take Machiavelli's mind and fuse it with unbreakable inner confidence. Stay with me. You're about to level up again. External power is hollow without internal certainty. If you walk like a king but think like a pawn, you'll eventually expose yourself. The performance will crack. The world will see the hesitation in your eyes, the fear behind your smile. Machiavelli played in the world of appearances. Yes, but he knew appearances must be anchored in belief. So now we shift inward. How do you create unshakable self-belief so when you act like the best, it's not just theater, it's truth? Here's the philosophy. You don't need permission to believe in yourself. You need proof from action. Confidence isn't a feeling, it's the byproduct of doing hard things and surviving. You build it like a fortress, one brick at a time. Stack daily wins. Confidence doesn't come from hype, it comes from repetition, from promises kept to yourself. You say you'll get up at 5 a.m.? Get up. You say you'll hit the gym? Show up. You say you'll finish the work? Finish it. Every time you follow through, you prove one thing. You are who you say you are. That's how belief is born, not from affirmations, but from evidence. And when your life is stacked with evidence of your own discipline, your own grit, your own integrity, then walking into a room with dominance isn't fake, it's deserved. Become your own standard. The reason most people crumble under pressure? They measure themselves by others. They compare constantly. That's a losing game. Because if your confidence is built on being better than someone else, then the moment you meet someone better, you break. So stop comparing, set your own bar, and raise it relentlessly. Ask yourself, am I better than who I was last week? Last year? That's the only scoreboard that matters. You should be your own competition, your own critic, your own coach. Machiavelli understood that rulers who rely on the approval of the people become slaves to their praise. But a ruler who governs by his own standard? Unshakable. Embrace adversity as identity. Most people avoid hardship, but hardship is the forge. The pain you feel when you're building, grinding, pushing, that's where the real self-belief is born. You've got to embrace the suffering, not just endure it, welcome it. Because every obstacle you face and overcome, every rejection, every failure, every loss, it all becomes part of your mythology, your legend, your proof that nothing can stop you. That's why the greatest warriors in history didn't chase comfort, they chased challenge, because they knew every scar adds weight to your presence, every bruise is a badge. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Let that sink in. What's holding you back? Good, that's your training ground. Because when you walk through fire and come out standing, you don't need to act like you're the best. You know you are. And that's when Machiavellian tactics stop being tricks and start being reflections of truth. That's the power we're building here. Not fake confidence, not shallow bravado, but an iron core certainty that turns heads, demands respect, and rewires how the world treats you. If this hit your soul, hit the like button. Because in the final section, we're going full circle. We're going to unlock the ultimate principle of power. How to make others believe in you more than they believe in themselves. The true art of command. The psychological edge that separates rulers from subjects. Stay with me. This is where you become dangerous. Now we reach the pinnacle, the highest form of psychological dominance. It's not enough for you to believe you're the best. True power begins when others believe it too, even more than they believe in themselves. You become the reference point, the standard, the immovable object in the minds of everyone around you. This is where the game changes from self-mastery to mass influence. Machiavelli didn't just want princes to rule with strength, he wanted them to seem inevitable. He wrote, "Men judge more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see, few can feel." What he meant was this: control what people see, and you control what they believe. So here's how to bend belief in your favor. Step 1. Create mystique. Do not overshare. Do not expose your entire process. The moment people fully understand you, they think they can match you. Mystery is a weapon. When you speak, say less. Let them wonder what else you know. Let them guess how much farther you can go. Be deliberate with what you reveal. This builds aura. You stop being just a person, they start to see you as a force. Someone with hidden depths, untapped potential. That's how legends are born. Think about it. The most powerful figures in history? They always carried an element of the unknown. Napoleon, Alexander, even modern icons. They didn't show all their cards. They made people lean in. They created curiosity and controlled the narrative. Step 2. Frame reality. People are looking to be led, whether they admit it or not, and the one who defines the frame defines the truth. You walk into a situation, and you speak with certainty, with clarity, with vision. Most people won't question it. They'll absorb it. They'll align with it. Because conviction is rare. And in a world of doubt, conviction becomes truth. That's why you must never second guess in public. Even when you're unsure, speak like you know. Lead like it's obvious. People crave that kind of clarity. And once they start relying on your voice to interpret reality, you own them mentally. That's not manipulation. That's leadership. Step 3. Engineer wins in front of them. Nothing cements belief like visible proof. You don't need to tell people you're great. Just let them see you win, over and over again. Show them results. Outperform them in silence. Solve problems they can't. Make moves they didn't even see coming. That's how you build reputation capital, a psychological force field that makes people think twice before challenging you. Eventually, your name does the work for you. Rooms light up when you enter, not because you demanded respect, but because you became synonymous with victory. That's the highest level of power. When others believe in you more than they believe in their own judgment, that's when you control the board. When you walk into negotiations and they're already compromised. When you speak and the room quiets not because you asked, but because they know what follows will matter. It all starts with one idea. Act like you are the best. No one is better than you. But it ends with a transformation. Become so unshakable, so commanding, so certain that the world bends to your image of yourself. That's Machiavelli's ruthless psychology for power. Not to impress, not to inspire, but to rule. You've been given the blueprint, the ancient mind games of rulers, kings, strategists. Now it's yours. The question is, will you apply it? Will you rewire how you walk, how you speak, how you lead? Or will you go back to pretending that playing small is noble? You have two choices: play by the rules and stay beneath your potential, or master perception, build inner certainty, and walk like the crown is already on your head. And if this series of truths hit you in the chest, subscribe, because this isn't the end. This is only the first layer. We've got deeper codes to unlock, harder truths to confront, and more legendary minds to study. Next up, We're diving into Marcus Aurelius and the Stoics' guide to unbreakable self-control in a chaotic world. Stay sharp, stay ruthless, and act like the best, because the world treats you how you teach it to.